Hey, what's up guys? Shane here with Rice Creek Bushcraft. Just out here in the woods today, enjoying a beer. And holy crap, it's windy. Yeah, very windy. I don't know how well this is going to turn out, but yesterday I started messing around with the bow drill set and I was able to get a good coal and threw it in a tinder bundle and it took off. So I thought I'd come out today and try it again, and I was successful. So I thought I'd talk to you guys a little bit about some of the things I found that I don't know, you see tons of stuff on the internet and they tell you how to do it, but there were still some things I think I was missing. I just want to talk about it. I'll tell you what kind of wood I used, and maybe you guys can go out and give it a try. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of work, but after doing it twice I've learned a few different things. So we'll start out with the drill first. The end that goes into your bearing block, make it really pointy. I mean, like pencil kind of pointy. You can see how pointy that is. You don't want to create any friction on this end, because what happens is this starts getting hot, this starts burning, and then it gets much larger as it burns down, and you start creating tons of friction on this end, and it becomes super hard to get the drill to spin. So what I did is I used some green leaves and put some spit on this end to keep it moist. I of course reshaved this so I could show you guys how it started, but yeah, so just get this nice and pointy. That's the first trick. The second trick, the other end, make it fairly fat. I mean, you can see this compared to my thumb. It's at least as big as my thumb, and maybe a little bigger, and seemed like a good size. It didn't really take me long to get it going, to be honest. This just gets created once you start burning through your hearth, you'll see. So what's happening is the edges are burning, and this is just, it's burning this away. It's receding this away, so then you get this little nipple thing here, if you will. But then if you get this and you need to try again, I just cut this off and get it rounded again. And when I started, this was pretty square looking. I mean, I didn't make it round. It'll do it on its own. You don't need to. So yeah, so there's your drill and your hearth board. Your hole is going to start about half this size once you get started, and it'll burn out. And one of the main things I learned that I didn't know before is you really need this V to be quite large. I started trying this, I don't know, my kid and I tried it a year or so ago, and I just made a tiny little V. Well, you need that, you know, at least maybe not quite a third of the way in, but almost a third of the way in when you start. That way it builds up your coal here, and then that's, you know, or it builds up it starts basically making sawdust from the drill and from your hearth. And once that builds up and you got a good pile down here, and I just put it on another piece of wood like this and just kind of let it build up. Then once that builds up and it's against your drill, that's when you want to start turning it up a little bit and really getting into it. I mean, I didn't put a ton of pressure, don't get me wrong. It's not like I was killing myself, but you want to apply a little more pressure, a little more speed, and all that sawdust basically just turns into like a little hard coal. And then you can just, all I did is take this and dump it into a bundle of grass. Well, I put the grass on here, and then I just flipped it over and tapped on it a little bit, and the coal came out, and it was small. I mean, it wasn't much, but I just let it sit there for, you know, 20-30 seconds and blew on it real lightly, and I continued to close my tinder bundle in, and it started to go, and I got flame. So yeah, as far as these two pieces, the drill and the hearth board, those are a couple little tricks that might help you. This is tulip poplar, and this is actually soft maple. Now, I know a lot of guys say tulip poplar works well, you know, dry cottonwood, willow. Well, I don't have a lot of willow and stuff around here, so I just used what I had available. Now, I've tried it with oak and hickory. It doesn't work. At least I couldn't get it to work, let's put it that way. And I tried and tried and tried. But this soft maple and tulip poplar is a pretty soft wood. seemed to work fine. As far as my bow, I just got a stick I found in the woods. I put a little notch in it, like a little V-notch, so my paracord would stay in there. Then I just tied 2 overhand knots, and then this end I kind of whittled it down. Then I took my saw and put a saw mark in there, and then I just, there's probably an easier or better way, but this is just what I what I did. Tied a knot in it, and then if I got bigger or smaller drills, I can just loosen the knot and make it longer for bigger drills or shorter for skinnier drills. So yeah, that's another thing to experiment with, is drill sizes. The bigger this is, the slower it spins. You have more friction because it's larger, and I think they start a little better. But if you know, I was going to use this one next. This is a lot smaller piece. This will spin super fast. This is probably about half again the size of a pencil. You know, it's not quite as big as my finger, but almost. You get something this size, this baby will really spin. I would assume you could create a coal faster. I just don't know if it'll work, if it'll be big enough. I have no idea, but I know I used one like this last night, and it spun really fast, but it was short and it burned up before I could get one going. So when you initially drill your hearth board, another trick is don't try to go like crazy right away. Don't try to make a fire. It's not going to work. You're going to have to get down into this and eat down into where your notch is. So just go slow and maybe stop. Try it again. For me, on a piece this thick, it's about as thick as my thumb, it took me about 3 tries to get it burned down to where I could get a coal. Now, maybe that's not the case with everybody. That's just what I found. So I guess my point is, don't get discouraged because, okay, I drilled on it for a minute, it didn't do anything. Just stay calm and look how deep this hole is. You know, it's pretty much burned almost all the way through. So just take your time and try it a few times. Don't give up. I had my kid out last night and we were playing, and he basically threw everything on the ground and said, yeah, this is dumb. Well, I've spent a lot of hours trying to get this, and it was fun. And you know, when I finally got flame, it was like, holy crap, this is awesome. I really did this. So yeah, just give it a shot. If you have any other questions, I mean, I'm by far not a professional, but I've learned a few things. Keeping your bow when you're drilling as close to the ground as possible, so you got to clean all the debris and everything that might be in your way. Keep it close to the ground, and don't can it up or down. Keep it horizontal with the ground, if that makes sense. And then you want to take your forearm on top of your your bearing block and just kind of lock that against here, and then you can push down. And you don't need to push super hard. I think that's a lot of guys push so hard and they wear themselves out. You don't need to push that hard. Just go at it nice and slow, get your hole burned in. So you'll start seeing a pile of sawdust. Once that gets built up to about where your drill is, touching it, you can see here. Sorry about the shaky camera. See if I can turn this so you can see it. I'm trying to do this one-handed. See, it's burned all the way down to the bottom. So that's when you really start getting after it, and good, clean movements. Don't be herky-jerky. Don't try to take your bow and do this really fast. Do full length. Just about this speed like this until you get that built up, you get your hole burned in, and then you're probably going to want to go about this fast. I'll try to do another video where I show you guys start to finish. I know this is kind of silly, but just some things I thought of that I'd like to share just in case you're trying this and you're giving up. Don't give up. It'll work. If I can do it, you can do it. Alright guys, thanks for watching Rice Creek Bushcraft, and if you liked the video, hit like. If you have any comments or questions or you didn't like it, put that too. Thanks guys.